You're looking to get a Qi charger for your Android or Samsung device or your iPhone? Well, I've been using a plethora of different Qi chargers over the last 4 months, and I can tell you that there's only one out of the 8 that I've used that I would actually recommend to people. And no, it's not these expensive Belkin and Mophie things, it's this Anker PowerWave. And I'm not recommending it because of the fast charging, I'm recommending it because of its, well, design. I've used every charger that I'm going to show you in this video with my iPhones as well as my Galaxy S7, so this video has literally taken me months to make. In the next few minutes, I'm going to cover the pros and cons for each of the charger that I've used. I'll talk about the design features that I would be looking for when buying a charger going forward, and I'll also talk a little bit about cable quality as, well, it did make a difference between the charge times.
Real usage, real reviews. Mobile reviews, .ca.
So let's get started with my recommended charger, the Anker PowerWave 7.5 stand with Quick Charge 3.0. Now, for pros, this PowerWave has a nice design in the fact that, well, the angle is suited for desk setups, which is way more useful than the normal puck setup. Why? Because you can actually find your phone on a messy desk. The coils, there are enough coils in this product that allow you to use both your device in portrait and landscape mode, which is nice. And it comes with a charger and a cable for when you get sick of how slow Qi charging actually is and you just need a spare charger. Now, what are some of the downsides of this product? It's expensive. It's close to 70 bucks. And honestly, it won't charge your iPhone any quicker than a regular iPhone charger. So let that sink in. With this charger, with Qi charging in general, you will have spent, like, you know, with the Anker PowerWave, like $70 on a charger that will charge your iPhone just as fast if you were to plug it in. Does that make any sense to me? It kind of doesn't. The last con for this product is the fact that the cable, despite being included with the box, isn't actually long enough for you to use it in a desk setup. So you have to use another cable in order for you to hang the power cable from your desk to the power bar on your floor. Last thing I'll note is the Quick Charge 3.0 will provide Android devices that are compatible with it a greater charge rate than the 7.5 watts for the iPhone. So there is a big difference between well, iPhone and Androids when it comes to what it will take in terms of Qi charging. My next recommended Qi charger would be the Spigen Essential F300W Qi wireless charger. Now, I'm not quite sure if they've updated it for fast charging. The one I have is normal charging and it's very slow, but I do like it because, again, it has a nice design. I can actually see my phone while it gets charged, and it also has multiple coils for both portrait and landscape charging. The LED charging indicator is also very easy to see, which is important to consider with larger phones because the iPhone 8 Plus will cover up the entire puck and you kind of have no idea if you've made contact with the charger or not. When it comes to cons, well, it does require its own charger and, as I mentioned before, only provides 5 watts of Qi charging. Next up is the YOLO Volt, and the standout feature for this product is that it comes with a spare USB port that allows for multi-device charging. The LED charging indicator is easily seen, and this entire surface is raised slightly, so it may make your device stand out a little bit amongst all the stuff on your desk. The cons is that it doesn't come with a charger and it doesn't support fast charge or anything above 5 watts in terms of Qi charging. So these 3 chargers that I've just talked about, these are the ones that I would actually gravitate towards to, and you've probably noticed the physical design feature that I enjoy using is the fact that, well, you can actually see your iPhone while it's charging. Right? A lot of these puck chargers, it's not that useful, especially if you're planning on using it in an office setting. The next few chargers I'm going to talk about are these puck chargers, and they're a lot more common, not as useful. And the first one I'm going to talk about is this PicTech fast charger. Pros is that this one's cheap, it's thin, and there's a large LED to indicate that Qi charging connection has been made. And out of all the chargers on this list, this is actually the fastest. And when I say fastest, it's not that much faster than everything else, but it is the fastest. In terms of cons, it requires its own charger, and, well, the puck design means it's not that useful in messy areas because you can easily lose track of it. Next up is the Anker PowerPort Qi fast wireless charger. Again, it's thin, it's cheap. There's a lot of LEDs to indicate that you've made a charging connection with the charging puck. Cons, again, requires its own charger, not useful in messy areas. The next puck charger that I would recommend would be the Saiteki fast wireless charger. Now, this is one of the fancier products as it has a metal base. So if you're looking for something, or if that fanciness is important to you, then I guess you're stuck with this Saiteki. It's thinner than the Belkin offering that I'm about to talk about, and it's actually one of the faster chargers on the list, just not as fast as the PicTech. When it comes to downsides, like every other puck charger, it requires its own charger, and the device actually may slide around on the charging surface because there's only this tiny bit of rubber, whereas in all the other charging pucks has quite a lot of rubber to keep your device in place. The last thing I'll talk about is that it has a small LED indicating charging. So, you know, if you got a bigger phone, you might not actually know if it's making a good connection or not. If you're finding this video helpful or useful or informative, considering getting all your tech through my Amazon links. None of these companies have sponsored this video, so you're literally staring at like $300-400 worth of Qi chargers that I went and bought out of my own pocket just to make this video, just to answer the question, well, which one do I like the best, so that I can share with you guys. So any support in that manner would be extremely grateful, and it'll just basically help me make more videos in the future. The last two products I'll talk about are the ones from Belkin and Mophie. These are the most expensive chargers out of this entire group, and they are not good products. If I was to pick one over the other, it would be the Mophie wireless charging base because it feels like a tank and it does come with its own charger. One of the cons is that it's expensive. The flat design, you'll still get to lose it. You'll lose it in a messy area. It's one of the slower chargers on this list, and so it's expensive and slow. And there is no notification LED to tell you that your device has made a connection or that it's actually charging. Now, the product that I least enjoyed using is the Belkin Boost Up wireless charging pad. Now, the only pro that it has is that it has its own charger. When it comes to cons, it's expensive, it's large, and it's not a good thing that it's large because the actual charging area is very small. So if you look carefully, my iPhone 8 actually isn't charging despite being almost on top of the entire charging area. Like the Mophie product, it's actually a little slower than every charger on this list, and there's a tiny LED indicating that your device is charging. So just not very user-friendly. The most expensive two in this list are not very user-friendly. So those are the chargers that I've used. Now, if you go to Amazon and you type up Qi charging, you're going to see dozens of products. And so which one should you get? I think the first question you have to ask yourself is, where are you going to use this Qi charger? If you haven't noticed, I prefer to use Qi chargers in my workspaces. So I tend to like chargers that prop the iPhone up, like the Anker and Spigen ones that I at the top of the list. For example, in an office workspace, being able to see the notifications while I'm sitting normally at my desk is handy. I can't do this with a puck-style Qi charger. Even the ones with a slight angle to them, like the YOLO and Belkin ones, I wouldn't use in my office. Now, similar to the office workspace, I spend a lot of time in the kitchen because I like cooking, so being able to see my device while I'm just moving about in the kitchen is handy. It's also nice to be able to see some picture when I'm listening to Netflix while I cook. Now, I've been ragging a lot on these flat style chargers, and I think the only place I would use them would be on my nightstand because, well, I don't need to look at my iPhone while I'm sleeping, and the charge, I would sleep, 6 hours. That should be enough to charge my iPhone from dead to full. So that's probably the only place I would go and use one of these flat style puck chargers. So through the entire process of testing Qi chargers, I realized that the quality of micro USB cable does make a difference. Not a big difference, but a noticeable difference. For all the charging tests that I did, I actually did them across 4 different cables out of my giant stash of micro USB cables for the chargers that took micro USB cables. I had the ZY branded cable for my gimbal, a Samsung branded cable, an Anker cable that came with the charging puck, and a random cable, no-name cable for my box of random cables. Surprisingly, the fastest cable was the random no-name cable in all the test charge cycles. Between the slowest and fastest cables, there was a 10-minute difference when charging my devices from 30 to 90%. So it's not a big difference, but 10 minutes is still kind of noticeable when it comes to charging. So that's all I have. If you have any questions for me, leave them in the comments section below. If this is the first time you're watching my videos, I do encourage you to click subscribe, as I haven't been producing videos as much lately, but they have been a lot harder to make because, well, it's taken hours and hours to do this video. So that's kind of all I got. Thanks for watching.